Really quick. Okay. So thank you all for being part of our call tonight. We have certified master nutrition therapist Aimee Darling with us today, and Emerald Ambassador with Plexus. And she's going to give us some bits of advice on things regarding our products and some of the things that she's seen along the way that she thought would be helpful for us. She's going to give us about 15 minutes, and then when she's all done, we'll kind of continue on with some rest of our stuff for our team. So Aimee, I'm going to give it to you.
All right. Well, thank you, Trisha. You guys, thank you so much, everybody, for being on and for watching the information. I'm thrilled to have the opportunity. You have such a rock star in your leader, and so it's exciting to have an opportunity to converse back and forth and to work with each other and just to share where our experiences lie. And so I really do appreciate the opportunity and just to share. So, it's funny, we were talking about shopping. I really do love to shop. I think that just through the years, I got out of that habit because we had little kids and I went from a full-time career to just being home, and there was an income drop. And so, we just stopped. I just kind of stopped shopping. And so it has been really fun to take my mom or, just to kind of go. It's just been fun. So I think that that's the other side of Plexus. That's one of those fun little blessings. So anyway, so you all had asked a bunch of different questions, and I'm going to do the best of my ability to kind of give them a little bit of an answer. And so I've been with Plexus for 3 years. So May, it's been 3 years, and our Emerald team, 10 months, very exciting, definitely not a record breaker, and the first Emerald team in the state of Oregon, and still the only one. And I know that's going to change soon. We've got 3 really hot moving people right now in this area. So it's very exciting on the West Coast to see what's happening in Plexus. Prior to Plexus, I had a booming nutrition practice. It was very exciting. I don't do that any longer. I don't choose to put time into working with that. I work with Plexus only, and it's very exciting. I still have some doctors that I do some chatting with and whatnot and that kind of thing. But you asked me some questions, and I'm going to bounce back and forth. So most people just think of me as a nutritionist because they know that I've been in nutrition and in this arena for about 8-9 years. But I have actually been in business for myself for well over 21. So I have 23 years of experience in business. And so business is really what I'm better at. And so I want to go through and just kind of pop through these questions really quick that you all had asked. And then some of them I really can't give a lot of answer to because I just can't, but I'll walk through them. So one of the things you asked me is about engaging males with Plexus. And, it's interesting. My husband runs the business with me now, and he didn't in the beginning. And I asked him the same question about a week ago. And I want you all to remember that men are no different than women. If you know what's of interest to them, then you can have a conversation with them. Some of them are soft and quiet, and some of them are exuberant, and they'll chat with you. And you really just need to meet a person where they are and mirror that behavior. And if they're a softer talker, then you need to be a softer talker. And if they are struggling with something, it's usually their wife that you'll probably find it out from. But Dennis had said to me, you just, most men, okay, just don't want to hear the big long stories. They just kind of want the end of they don't want the labor, they want the baby. Okay, so that's the only thing I would say to you, but they're really not a lot different than women, and there really isn't a code to be cracked. I was just with brand new Emerald Todd Roos when we were in Dallas last week. And we were kind of getting a giggle over that. Men have the same kind of needs. And so you just need to focus on helping a person with what they need and then filling it. And so there isn't anything different than them. Okay. As far as approaching strangers, when I teach my team, this is what I look at. I always look at 3 distinct things. I look at why, and then what, and then how. And so when I'm working with my team, I want to know their why. And that's not immediate, but I want to know what they want. What do they want and why? Why do they want that? What's it going to look like for their family? And then I can teach them what to do, and then I can teach them how to do it. And so if I know their goal is at a certain level, and so when I'm talking to people, that is stemming from a desire to help people. And I don't cold call, and I don't walk up to people and just hand them my card. And that's just not me. So when you think about what is you and what is slightly out of your comfort zone. So for me, I just am naturally chatty to people. I just can't help it. We'll talk about other stuff. And remember that this business is like a beautiful, beautiful garden. You're going to plant seeds that don't necessarily bloom for a long time. And I was not always a very patient person. I would think of a garden like this. Okay, I'm going to go from composting to salad. and that's it. Like, I just want to put some compost out there and then I want to eat tomorrow. And you need to remember that when you expand your network and you're talking to strangers, you need a volume. You need to be constantly talking to people, 3 to 5 people every day, about something. And it's not necessarily going to be Plexus, because if the first thing you said to me was Plexus, that's not building a relationship. So just remember that we're in a relationship building business. And I think we often compare ourselves to other people. And just to pick on Celeste, because I was just with her, I mean, she became an Emerald in 4 months. She had a network of friends prior. So don't forget that you're building a network for life, because you truly care and you're truly building those relationships. And so that's kind of how I expand, not by no other means except to just keep being interested in other people. Okay. And I'm interested and I keep talking to them. So that's how I find ambassadors. Also, I have very few customers. I'm all about, yes, try the product, get on that product, flip them. And I don't look at training as far as like a 5-week program or a 10-week program. I literally look at when I know their why and I see what they need, I can help them long term. And so we spend about 5 weeks on basics out of the new kit, the listed 10 in the kit. We focus on that. And that's what Helen and Sonia and I, and the other Jules in Helen's Power Team line, that's what we do. Okay. So as far as like how long, it really just, you're going to be constantly feeding them something, and it just goes, it's like a cyclical process. As far as ProBio 5, you got to understand that we have to follow the rules. And if you look at the back, it says take 1. Well, that's a maintenance dose. And when we're trying to help somebody with a lot of other problems going on in their body, they may need to take more. And I know we hear that float around, and I am well aware that BioCleanse says on the back, take 2 and then take 2 more later. And I would say to you, the beauty of our business is simplicity. Don't get fancy with people. One of the hooks we have is the fact that if I'm talking to Trisha and I say, everybody's tried, this, that, and this and that, and it's been challenging. And she might even give me a clue where she'll say, I don't want to have to time things, or I don't want to have to eat shakes, or I don't want to have to buy food. You want to remember that when you say to her, you're going to love Plexus because it's simple, you need to follow the directions on the actual bottle. And so, yes, taking 1 at night, yes, you're probably going to have to increase it. Should you take BioCleanse with it? There's lots of great information about why that's a challenge, because when you look at what you're using the probiotic for, you're using the probiotic in the triplex for the purpose of giving your body good gut bacteria. When you're using the ProBio 5 for the purpose of going after fungus, right? Issues like that, then magnesium coupled with it really helps the enzyme in that ProBio 5, which makes it very special. And so you want to remember to stick to the basics, and then as you go along, you can look at making changes. But that's the reason why those two don't go together, is because if you really want good probiotic activity, then it needs to be on its own. If you're trying to do something else with it, then magnesium is helpful. But in the beginning, you got to be simple. As far as die-off, you know what, y'all, that's very individual. And not everything is die-off. So don't sound like a parrot where you're constantly saying, triplex, die-off, triplex, die-off. I had the privilege of being with Sheila Medina the other day, because I'm second line to Sheila. So I got to teach Super Saturday with her. It was amazing. And I had a moment of, it's Sheila. And so it's Sheila Medina. And so Sheila, and I was on her call the other night, and we were discussing this. I'm really good at looking at the bigger picture of health. And just because that's who I am, not my experience, but it's just who I am. And so remember that not everybody needs the triplex first, and not everybody, and not every symptom is die-off. So just kind of be aware that we don't parrot that all the time, and that's our only answer. So as far as die-off, and they say they can't handle it or they don't want to do it, my phrase, my line, whatever you want to call it, is if I was talking to Trisha and she was saying, gosh, I'm having this, I'm having this. And I would say, well, is that those are symptoms that I've heard other people having. Are you willing to continue to push past that? And then they get to say, Trisha would then say yes or no. And so as far as how long, I know for me, it was 3-4 days. I see other people, it's weeks. I see other people have none. And it always depends on the state of health that they were in prior to plexus. And some people have had layers and layers and layers and layers of nasty, and that was me. So you really can't say it'll last a week, the last 5 days. You can't. What you can say is, if you're seeing those things to be normal, those are things I've seen in other people. If you're willing to keep going, I would love to see how you feel in a couple days. And are they getting the water in? Are they resting? Those things are important. And so keep that in mind. As far as swallowing pills, you know what, you guys, it depends on the person. If they can or can't swallow pills, if they can't, then I don't know what to tell you, because we can't actually open up. It's not a good idea for like Accelerator Plus, Boost. You're not supposed to open those because it needs the body breaking down that gel cap first in order to be almost like a slow release. But BioCleanse and ProBio 5, I don't have an answer for that, because I couldn't tell you why you couldn't on those, but definitely, slim, just get them on slim. So when you look at if someone can or can't afford the product, that's always an indicator to me that they need to sell the product. However, if I could choose one product that I would have people start with, and if they couldn't afford anything, it would be slim. But if they had a lot of gut issues or autoimmune issues, it would be ProBio 5. And so if I could only pick one thing, although I have had customers come to me that start with just X Factor, because that's what was appropriate for them, okay? So don't be so married to that triplex, although it really does need to be together, but just understand that there's individual situations. So as far as autoimmune issues, just remember that no matter what the autoimmune issue is, it goes back to triplex, because it's inflammation, gastrointestinal health, and sugar balance, and they're tied together. And so that's why we see that. I need to make a video about ProBio 5, but here's the thing, you guys. I work really closely with compliance now, like they call me, like speed dial, and about half my channel is about to go down tomorrow because it's not compliant. And so when I was going to make a video about why our ProBio 5 is better, and now I need to find out from our lawyer what I can say, but let me just give you the basics. Our ProBio 5, when it's addressing yeast, fungus, those things, our ProBio 5 is superior because it does 4 things. It's not just giving your garden good bacteria, like lots of good flowers. It's not just doing that. It also has the enzyme. So those little sneaky flowers that look like flowers, but they're really weeds, that enzyme is plucking them out, right? Killing that layer on the outside of that nasty fungus. It also has that good Espellardi, which is a special kind of yeast, and that is a probiotic also. So that is almost like your garden is getting beneficial flowers, and it's getting just really good stuff. And then the 4th reason is because it has, oh my gosh, I just lost my brain for a second. Hold on. Grapeseed extract. And because it has the grapeseed extract, which is an antifungal, it does even more. So if a person was going to just take probiotics, which is what most people are doing, $100 plus, refrigerated, 8 zillion colony forming units, CFUs, that's great. It's wonderful. However, when people have had problems with high amounts of fungus in their body, they're not getting the good benefit like we're seeing from our probiotic, because it's doing more than just adding in the good stuff. It's killing off the bad and giving it another layer. And don't underestimate Espellardi. Saccharomyces boulardii is incredible. And if someone has ever been in a compromised state, like your person with the Crohn's and celiac, you got to go slow with them. And it's okay to do like half a stick of Slim. It's okay to start off with just ProBio 5 for a couple weeks, because they're very, very powerful tools. And so that's why it's better, because it's more comprehensive. That's the word you're looking for. It has a, not wider variety, but it's just going to address more issues that most people have. And as far as nerve health, anything that you're talking about that attacks the joints, you want to look at the triplex, and then nourishing, and then of course reducing the inflammation, which is ease. And then as far as nerve, I take nerve all the time. I take nerve every day because it's incredible. And so as far as whether it's good or not, it has a high amount of B vitamins. And I don't know that would be my go-to for a joint issue, but it's my go-to just period because I love it. As far as Slim causing headaches, you have to think about two things. One is that could be a problem with the alpha lipoic acid is pulling in the toxins out of the fat layer, and then they're not drinking enough water, and that's recirculating, and maybe for them that's a headache. But you also want to go back and look at, are they allergic to an ingredient? You have to ask those things. Take a look at this package and see if there's anything you're allergic to, just out of curiosity. And remember that so much of what we do is not in what we say, but how we say it. So if you came to me and you said, I'm having headaches, and I said, oh my God, this is Slim. It might be headaches. Do you have allergies? What's going on with you? It's probably pulling all the toxins out of your fat layer, and it's going to just be horrible. And then they're like, oh my God, I don't even want to try Slim. Or you say, tell me more. What are you running into? Tell me more. Well, you know what? I've heard of some headaches, and I've heard that could be a good thing. Do you perhaps have some food allergies? Take a look at this package. But honestly, that's a common symptom for some people, but not everyone. And I know that that's kind of exciting because it means your body's pulling those things out. If you think that you can keep pushing through that for the next few days and you're willing to keep your water up, like more than 6-7 glasses a day and consistent, then let's see where you are in a few days. Totally different. Okay. So keep that in mind, because that's just so key. It's your tone. No, you don't know everything. No, we're not supposed to. We're not supposed to diagnose. And on the flip side of that, it's how you talk to people. We have this tendency to go, oh, just try the triplex. Oh, yeah. That's die off. Well, maybe it is, maybe it's not, but you will form a better long-term relationship if you ask. I apologize. I got a tickle. I got so excited when I was talking. Next thing you know, who knows what flew into my mouth? I don't know. Maybe some hair. It's just growing. It's X Factor. I hate that product. I do. I went in today, little side note, got a little, little wax going on. The lady's like, how fast are your brows growing? I'm like, I know. It's X Factor. I hate it. I love it. Detox, you know what? That's typically the alpha lipoic acid. Again, I don't know how long. And then Christy, my buddy Christy White, she had asked about ease. So here's the thing with ease. A lot of people know that I use ease with everybody. I adore ease capsules because it reduces inflammation. And if you have had food allergies, you have inflammation in your gut. If you have problems with the way you think, you have some inflammation typically. If you have problems with weight, you have inflammation. So if I can go after some additional inflammation reduction, I'm going to see changes in your body. Remember, start one product at a time. I know that we get as zealous and we get that product in the mail and we go, I'm going to use it all. Supplements are supplemental. They're not meant to replace anything. And in the beginning, I want you to think about your business like this, or your body. Your health should be here and it's over here. And supplements, especially ours, are helping the body more efficiently and quickly get back to middle. Sometimes it kind of goes the other way and then it goes back. Sometimes it teeters back down and then it goes back because it's time. And it takes a solid 6 months to see changes in our body because cellularly we were built that way. Some people it's 2-3 days, some people it's 2 years. And so I'll leave you with this. In my first year, my first week, I lost 8 pounds. I was all excited. My events consisted of a stick of Slim, pulling my pants out, and a computer. I would say I have no clue and shake it up and here, try it and you'll love it and just order it. That was it. I got to Emerald on that dog and pony show. It was sad. That's all I knew. Then that second, third week, I gained back 5 pounds on my first date that I lost. Okay, why did I keep going? I felt better. I felt nicer. I was having some detox problems. I was having headaches. I had a lot of sugar addiction in my history. I was having problems, but I felt overall better. So again, I said to myself, am I willing to keep going? I feel good. Yes, I do. I regained some weight. Oh, well. in the bigger picture of my journey, I'm okay with that within reason. Okay. And then at the 6th-ish month mark, I added ProBio 5, and then I added some X Factor. And for the last 6 months of the year, I lost 22 pounds. Okay. That's not normal. That's what happened for me. And it was like a child's car zipping backwards and let go, and ding, off it went. Then I felt better, and I started making choices and changes with diet and exercise. The second year, so that first year I went from a 16 to a 14 to a 12 to a 10. The second year, you guys, I lost nothing. I lost 0 pounds. And I went then from a 10 to an 8 to a 6 to a 4. I taught at Super Saturday 2 years ago, and I have the habit of not checking my clothes before I go because I like the clothes and I take them with me and I don't even look because I'm not a clothes girl. What happened? Stood up at Super Saturday, pulled the mic up to my hand, went to say something with my other hand because I need a hand to talk. Skirt fell off at Super Saturday. And because block. So just remember that your journey is different. And that second year, that's what happened. That second year I dropped, from a 10 down to a 4, and no weight changes. Now I'm in my third year. My weight has not changed at all. But on Instagram tonight, somebody reposted a picture of me from my very first convention. Oh my gosh, I don't even look like the same human. So just remember, it's individual. Give yourselves a break, be consistent, and just learn your products. And just know that you're going to add them slowly, and then just keep going, and then keep talking to more and more and more people. It really is okay when people tell me no. Frankly, I get a little excited. I'm like, just get out of my way, because millions of people are dying for this product and you're in my way. Okay, so that's where I would just encourage all of you and just tell you that you're just going to keep learning more and more and more. It was only a year ago that I figured out why Slim works, and, or how. And I didn't know my first year and a half. So just remember that I would take enthusiasm any day of the week over knowledge, any day of the week. I'd rather have an ambassador on my team that's never been in business and has not a clue about supplements, but they're willing to learn, and they're willing to have a great attitude, and they're willing just to be consistent any day of the week over some of the doctors I have on my team. They're a pain in my rear. Okay, so just keep it in mind. All right, Trisha, I gotta go.
All right. Thank you, Aimee. Thank you.
You're welcome, girl. I'll see you soon in Vegas.
Yay.
On stage.
On stage.
On stage. Bye.
Bye, Aimee. See you later. All righty. Well, if anyone has any questions, I know she actually went a little bit longer than she had anticipated, so that was really exciting. If you guys have any questions or anything that you want to kind of go through, feel free to unmute yourself. Oh, I see we have something on chat. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.